What's up guys, I'm Chris and today you're watching a magic review on the MindSpy II by Peter Nardi. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. If you haven't, please consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up. Any questions or comments, just ask them in the comment section below. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss a video or a review. Also, join the Chris Edwards Magic Secret Access group over on Facebook. Alright, so today we are looking at the MindSpy II by Peter Nardi over at Alakazam. So what is it? This is a Peak wallet, but not your standard Peak wallet. This is more of a performing wallet. Probably not something you'd carry around on you every day, however you can, and I'll show you the ins and outs. So first off, this is the black version. It also comes in a brown Mayfair version. So that is the outside of the wallet. Inside looks like this. So you have a notepad here. Okay, and these are just loose sheets of paper that fit in under this little tab up here, and they're held in by this here. On this side, you have 6 card slots. Now, this side has to do with your Peak, okay? You also have a zipper compartment here. So when you're getting a Peak or when you're putting the information in, you can either put them in any of these slots or in the zipper compartment. I personally choose to go with the zipper compartment. And then after that, you have a working pocket here. So I don't know if you can really see that. Storage in there. And that will also be where you access your SUC, which is on the back. For those of you who know what that is, you know what it is. Then, on the other side, okay, there's 2 sides to this wallet, but they are replicated to look identical. So, I do often show the Peak area with other wallets because it just looks like an ID window. So there's really nothing that can't be seen. So you also have 6 slots, but those won't have anything to do with the Peak. They're completely working pockets, right? So you can store, if you want to use this as an EDC wallet, you definitely can, because you can store up to 6 cards there. And then on top of that, well, you know, I can show it. It's exactly the same. So all of these are working pockets. And then you have another storage pocket there. Okay. So that is the wallet. That's the ins and the outs. So what do you get? You're going to get the wallet. And then you're going to get the packaging here. Oops, that's upside down. There's the packaging. You will get some extra sheets of paper. And then what I did was I just bought some unlined memo pads. So you can pick these up on Amazon for super cheap. They are a little bit too big. Not much. Okay, so you just cut them down. I've done that here. I've got a whole bunch now. It took maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes. So now I got a whole bunch of extras. Haven't done anything with this one yet. I've got more over here. So endless supply, or it can be. So that's what you get. You'll get the download link in there as well for the tutorial. So what's the quality? This is made out of real leather. Okay, and the stitching is great throughout. It's all really good. Zipper here is good. I don't really know what else to say about quality other than it's a very high quality wallet. So what can I say about the MindSpy? Like I mentioned, this is more for performing because most people don't carry around a notepad in their wallet. However, you can. Being a mentalist, this is not unusual if you did decide to use it as an EDC item. Also, a lot of people used to carry memo pads, right, before cell phones and notes apps. But so it's not completely out of the norm to have something to write on. But the peak on this, that is where this really, really shines, and I will definitely use this in performance. This is probably the most justified and easiest to do peak that you will come across. So what happens is you would take out a business card, get them to write a thought, a word, draw a simple picture. From there, you would put it into your zipper compartment, and you'd set the wallet down. Then you do your process of mind reading, right? To which you go back in, grab a slip of paper, and in doing that, oops, I grabbed two. In doing that, you get a full peek, right? And it's super, super well justified, right? You're getting this out to write on. It's also very, very good on angles, because when you open that up and you bring the piece of paper out, the front is completely covered. The side is completely covered. Your hand getting the piece of paper is covering this side, and then you're in the back. So the angles are one of the best that you will come across for any peak wallet here. Probably the best that I've seen. Now, it's not the only way you can get a peak. If you want to get an external peak, you can use the SUC. So you would take the card, and you would simply, instead of putting their information into the zipper compartment, you would just put it in this side into the pocket, putting the wallet away, you get your peak. Now, because of the SUC, you can also use that for nail writing, secret writing, confabulation, loading cards. It will work to load a playing card if you want to, but this can do quite a bit of things. Also, because you have 6 pockets on this side and on the other side, you can also use this as an index for multiple outs. So overall, this is a fantastic mentalism tool. Now I'm going to kind of jump around here. Usually I do some comparisons later, but just for size, here's your MindSpy II next to the Stealth Assassin. So it's a little bit bigger than the Stealth Assassin as far as width goes, right? They are pretty much identical in height, and then it's not overly thick either. Okay, here's next to the Stealth. So that would probably be what I would compare it to the most as far as size. Here's the Infinity wallet. So again, it's a little bit taller. It's the exact same width, and then the Infinity is a bit thicker. But two pretty good comparisons. I think a lot of people are familiar with the Stealth as well as the Infinity wallet. So there's some comparisons. Tutorial. So the tutorial is awesome. You get 8 routines. So first, Peter is going to introduce the wallet, kind of talk about how it came to be, because this is the second version. The first one was a lot larger. It was a wallet that would go in probably like a jacket pocket, right? Solely for performance purposes, not something you'd typically carry out on you, whereas this one you can. So he'll go over how this came to be, go over the different functions and features of the wallet, and then a couple different peaks. After that, you'll get a bunch of routines, and they are all phenomenal. So a lot of the routines are the same as the ones that you would find in the Stealth Assassin, but some of them have been updated, and some of them have a little bit different handling to fit the MindSpy II. But all in all, the tutorial is great. It will show you everything you need to know to get performing. And these routines are powerful. Like, they aren't just, hey, you bought a wallet, so we're going to throw in some routines. They're routines that you will use. They're routines that you will use to get paid. They're very good. Difficulty. So this is one of the easiest peak wallets to use. And I think because everything is so well justified and the actions and movements just make sense, you're not worrying about fumbling with anything. There's no sleight that you have to do. But I mean, with some peak wallets, you are kind of having to hide things. And by that, I mean angles, right? Whereas with this, all your angles are so naturally covered that it just makes this the easiest peak wallet to use. Setup and reset? Not really. They supply papers that you put in here, make it look like a wallet. Instant reset. Arts and crafts, or is this ready to use? So it is ready to use since they did supply the paper. But ultimately, there aren't arts and crafts unless you want to make additional sheets of paper, which eventually you will. However, there is an alternative method that Mark uses. So Mark and Peter and Colin, they're all on the tutorial sharing their thoughts and different ideas. Mark uses a Post-it pad on here. So one of the longer ones that he has cut down. So that would probably be quicker than cutting down the ones I have, but I like the look of having, I like these, but I think the Post-it pad's great as well. Can it be examined? So no, I mean, there's nothing for them to see because each area looks exactly the same. So even if they see you open up the secret side, it's doesn't look any different than what they seen when you took out a business card for them from the regular side. So visually, there's nothing suspicious, nothing that they shouldn't see. But to give this to them, they can easily open up the wrong side, right? So no, it can't be examined, but I mentioned in every wallet video, no one's going to examine your wallet. It's a personal item and people don't do that. Pocket space, I think I kind of covered that already when I compared the wallet to the Stealth and the Infinity. It's not an overly big wallet. It's not bulky. This will fit in a back pocket or a front pocket. It will take up a pocket though, right? Who will use this? Is it practical? Is it a worker? So mentalists, right? If you're a magician performing some mentalism, this is great too. But if you're just a magician, you'll probably go for a different wallet. This can do a no palm card to wallet. However, you'd probably just buy a different wallet if you're a magician solely doing a card to wallet. If you're a mentalist, this is a great tool to have. As far as practicality goes, this is extremely practical in working sets, right? Like I said, you may not choose to carry this just as a casual EDC wallet, but if you're performing strolling, table hopping, stage, any type of situation where you need to get a peek, this is perfect. Now, because the angles are so good with this and getting the peek is so easy, this will work in any situation. And you get a full peek, right? It's not a partial peek, it's a full, super clear peek. You're going to have no problem seeing it in any lighting conditions. So definitely practical, definitely a worker. What's the price and is it worth your money? So this is actually fairly cheap. I was surprised when I seen that it was, I think, $68 Canadian. So I think that works out to like $65 American right now. So the black is 65 US dollars. We'll say that it's around there after I did the conversion. And if you want the brown Mayfair edition, it's like $5 more. So 65 or 70, which for this wallet being real leather and having multiple functions, so index, peak, SUC, definitely worth the money. Positives and negatives. The positives, I think that this is an amazing tool for any mentalist. I have no negatives to do with the wallet. Okay, this thing's great. My only negative is that this is a limited run. Once it's sold out, it's not being made again. I don't know why that is, because I think it's awesome. I think it's great, and I think that this will continue to sell. But Peter has said that once these are out of stock, they will no longer be available. So that's my only negative. And I mean, it's not a negative for me because I have one, but I think it's a great wallet. So like I said, if you're looking for an EDC wallet that performs magic and mentalism, this probably isn't it. But if you're looking for an amazing mentalism tool that will work in any working situation, then I think that this is perfect. Also, if you are in the US, don't forget that Alakazam now has a warehouse in the US and is shipping out of the US to US customers. So if you are looking for anything from Alakazam and you live in the US, you can go to the website. I think once you've entered your info being from the US, it will automatically ship from the US department if it's in stock there. And if you have any questions, contact Chris James. He looks after the US side of things. So I will leave a link in the description below. And with that, we'll see you at the next review.